Well, Mick, it was a tough game. It wasn't a game of not many chances, but they found the breakthrough in the end, and it was a real moment of quality when it did come.
It was, yeah. I mean, look, the sending off changed the game. I thought first 20-25 minutes, both teams were feeling each other out a little bit, and then it just started to settle towards the end of the first half, where I thought we're going to have a good game here second half. There were a couple of things that we were talking about doing from the touchline, and then obviously the sending off changed everything. And then it becomes a completely different game. We had that sort of scenario when we played Crystal Palace in the Premier League Cup. They went down to 10. It's never easy. It's never easy when a team drops in and you have all the ball. You're expected to go on and score 3, 4, 5, and it never quite works out that way. And you know, we huffed and we puffed, and finally Marshy, first real bit of outstanding quality of the game. Flecky whips in a great ball. Marshy times his run. And then, you know, we get the goal, and that's the one that's nudged us over the line.
It did have a feel of a derby game at times. There was a few feisty challenges going in, even from the start, but it just never quite got going, did it? And it was one of those where it was probably going to be one goal that made the difference.
Yeah, I totally agree. There was, like you say, a couple of tasty tackles that went in, which is normal for these type of games, and you were just waiting for it to spark into life. And I thought it would in the second half if there would have still been 11 on the pitch for both teams. And to be honest, I was a little bit disappointed in that because, you know, we're at a stage where we want competitive games. You know, we want those tests. They set up slightly different to what we expected. So there was questions being asked of the young lads of, go on then, how are you going to deal with this? And we lost that opportunity, and it became a different type of game second half. But the positive of that, I suppose, in a way, is that the senior lads that needed minutes have come through, touch wood unscathed, and so there's a box tick from that side of it. And you know, for the young lads again, slightly different to Crystal Palace. Go on then, how do you find your way through in these games where you've got all the ball and all the pressure's on you? And as I say, we got the breakthrough in the end.
Yeah, and if you're not going to be scoring 3 or 4 a game, it's important to keep clean sheets. And really, Davo's only had one big save to make in the first half, and apart from that, it was a pretty solid defensive effort all round.
Yeah, I mean, that's, you know, as I say, even when there was 11 on the pitch for both sides, I thought we looked comfortable once we'd adapted to what they were doing, and we'd got an handle on that. That's why I was, you know, waiting for the second half to settle down, and you know, I thought we'd have had a real good go at it second half. Sending off, as I say, changed it, but yeah, defensively, clean sheets are always important. You can always build from that, and it was always going to be one of them games where we just relied on a moment of quality. And as I said before, you know, that individual bit of magic, if you like, from Flecky, which he's obviously got that ability in Marsha. So yeah, I suppose we'll watch it back, we'll reflect on certain bits, we'll certainly take bits out of the first 35-40 minutes of something that, you know, we can learn from as a group of young lads, and then beyond that was just a case, as I say, of getting the result which we got.
At the end of the day, it's another win. It extends the lead at the top of the league. I know the league table is not always the most important thing at this level, but in terms of the whole season, you know, the amount of lads that you've got out on loan, how impressed have you been with the lads that are still here to open up such a gap, given that you've got almost a full 11 out on loan in the Football League and the non-league?
Yeah, I think for me that was a disappointing thing today. I mean, it's a sending off, there's nothing that the referee can do, but I just thought it changed the game completely. At this level, you know, the be all and end all is not the result, and the be all and end all is not the league table. It's about stretching the lads and giving them challenges and experiences that prepares them for first team football. In first half, I thought there were a couple of little bits that were asking questions of us, and I thought we've got a good test here. That changed, but you know, the point you make there is probably the pleasing thing for us at the moment. You know, we're getting a lot of interest in lads regarding loans, and lads are going out, and the question then is who's going to come in and fill that gap. Slightly different today, obviously, with the old lads dropping in, but that'll be us for the rest of the season now. You know, when one goes out on loan or somebody's not available because they're up with the first team, which is what we want, can the next one step in? So there's loads for us going forward into the back end of the season that's positive as a collective academy.
Cheers, Mick.